so much for that beautiful prayer. Okay, so good afternoon once again. Before we start, I want us to have a recap of what we looked at last week. Please mute your mics. Mute your mics. Thank you. Who is ready to remind us what we studied last week quickly? Who is ready to remind us what we did last week? Shivan?
Teacher.
Yes, please. What did you study last week?
I didn't attend the last lesson.
You didn't attend. Who attended? Who attended and you take us? Yes, Rana. Murunji, Rana, your hands are up. Yes, one by one. Rana first.
Effects of a large population.
We looked at the effects of a large population. Murunji, which effects did we talk about? Give me about 5.
The first one is large market for agricultural products.
Yes, there is a large market. We looked at positive and negative effects. There is a large market for agricultural products again.
And provision of social services.
Provision of social services is made possible.
Provision of security.
There is security.
And there is wide tax base.
A wide tax base, okay.
Then the last
Then on a
one
negative note, give me a negative one. On a negative note, a negative effect.
There is overcrowding.
Overcrowding is the spread of diseases. Some poor waste disposal. Thank you, Claire. Good. I'm glad you understood and you still remember what we did. However, I'm disappointed at the fact that you don't do my assignments. Please submit the assignments. They are all there on Google Classroom. Answer and submit. I'll be waiting to mark in vain. I don't find any work done. Submit the work. So today we want to start a new topic. Okay. I left you with the option of just you do effects of a small population as well. Those ones you can handle. So I want to introduce a new topic, and that is fishing in East Africa. Some of you are already involved in this activity, so probably you know it is not a strange topic for us. Okay, so let's look at fishing. Under fishing, we are going to talk about what is fishing, the types of fishing, the methods of fishing. We shall look at the different species, the factors that have led to the growth of the fishing sector, and that will be it for today. For this topic in particular. So what is fishing? If I'm to ask someone, when I say fishing, what comes to your mind? Okay, what is fishing? So as you answer that, be sure that at the end of the lesson, you're able to define it. You outline for me the types of fishing, and then we are going to discuss in detail the factors that have favored the development of fishing in East Africa. Okay. Good. So what is fishing? That's what you're going to look at today, fishing in East Africa. So I want someone to define for me in their version, when you hear fishing, what do you think about? What do you think about when you talk of fishing? Any hand that is up? Oh, amazing. Shivan. Shivan, unmute your mic and define for me fishing.
Okay, teacher. Fishing refers to the extraction of all forms of aquatic life from water bodies.
Amazing.
For food or other commercial.
Okay, so Shivan is saying it is the process of extracting all forms of aquatic life. You mean if I'm to extract crocodiles, I extract the worms, I extract it is all fishing? Shivan. Yes, promise. You want to make it better? Fishing, promise. Let me hear your version.
Fishing refers to the extraction of fish from water bodies for food or other commercial purposes.
Beautiful. She has brought it out right. From water bodies. It can be either for domestic purposes purposes, all for commercial purposes. Thank you so much. So we have defined fishing. When we go ahead and extract or remove fish from any water bodies, that is what we call fishing. Okay, and it can be done for either domestic purposes or for commercial purposes. So what else do you think we're going to look at? I said the types of fishing. The types of fishing. Which types of fishing do you think they are? When you hear types of fishing, what comes to your mind? Yes, Victor. Yes, Victor, talk to me. The types of fishing. Victor, unmute yourself. Okay, Jibril, Fahia, unmute yourself and tell me the types of fishing that you can think of or you've heard about. Yes, Fahia?
Madam, there is net fishing.
There is net fishing, okay.
Yeah, there are those who use buckets also.
And those methods of fishing, those are methods I'm asking for. Types. Yes, Claire. Claire Daniela, say something. Your hand is up. We are looking at the types of fishing. Claire, unmute yourself. Okay, seems Claire is not with us. Can I hear from Ezekiel? Ezekiel, unmute yourself. Okay. Ezekiel, I can hear you. Hey. Yes, Daphne. Different types of fishing.
Freshwater fishing.
There is freshwater fishing. Amazing. What is it about? What do you think it's about? Fresh water. Define it for us.
I think they get their fish from fresh waters.
From fresh waters.
Yeah.
Even Renzori has fresh water. So can you be specific about where does the fresh water come from? Often you're on track. I need you to defend your point. There is freshwater fishing and you're saying this is fishing done in fresh waters. What are the fresh waters? When I pour water in a bucket to go and shower, it is fresh water. It is not dirty. So what is fresh water?
Can't define it.
Okay, let me help. Let me tell Murunji to help you. Murunji, what do you think freshwater fishing is about?
I think freshwater fishing is all about like the ponds, lakes, rivers, swamps, and streams.
Okay, so Murunji is saying freshwater fishing is about getting fish from water bodies like ponds, streams, lakes, rivers, and streams. I think Murunji is right. When the other type of fishing, what is the other type? The other type. So we have looked at one as freshwater fishing. Yes, Victor, what is the other type? Long lining is a method, Faith. Long lining is a method. Then someone has written pelagic. It is pelagic. Pelagic fish is a type of fish. It's not a type of fishing. Drift method is a method of fishing, not a type of fishing, okay? Okay, Victor, say something. Victor, say something. When I call you up or when I call up upon your name, please unmute. Okay. Daniela, we've looked at one type that is freshwater from lakes, rivers, ponds, and streams. What about the other type of fishing? What is the other type? No one knows. Let me look through the chat and see. There is marine fishing. Christine, traditional type of fishing is not there. So we have two types. We have marine fishing and freshwater fishing. So what is marine fishing about, Faith? Faith is the one that has written down for us, marine fishing. What is it? Let me look for you and you unmute and describe for us marine fishing. Yes, Faith. Unmute and talk to us. Marine fishing.
Marine fishing refers to the extraction of aquatic animals, or to be specific, fish from oceans or seas.
Beautiful. It is the extraction of fish from oceans and seas. So take note, we've looked at two types of fishing. There is the freshwater fishing that is done in lakes, rivers, ponds, and swamps, whereas marine is about extracting fish from the salty waters, from the seas and oceans. Thank you. Thank you very much, Faith. Let's move on. So there are the two types of fishing. We have the freshwater fishing, which we are looking at as also inland fishing, and marine water fishing, or which is named as salty water fishing. So those are the two types of fishing we have in East. Pelagic fishing, Claire, is not pelagic. Pelagic is a type of fish. It's not a type of fishing. It's a species of. So in East Africa, okay, do we have freshwater bodies? Are there any freshwater bodies? And if yes, where do you think where do you think freshwater fishing takes place in East Africa? I want those major lakes and rivers and swamps and ponds where we do extraction of fish here in East Africa. Do we have freshwater fishing in East Africa? The answer is yes. Where does it happen? Yes, Alvin. Alvin Chisache, talk to me.
I think it can be done at Lake Victoria.
Please be louder.
I think it could be done at Lake Victoria.
Alvin, I can't hear you.
Adam, I meant that can be carried out at Lake Victoria.
Alvin, I've not got anything that you're saying. Your voice is too low. Okay. Let me hear from Murunji. Murunji, which water bodies do we have in East Africa? Let's start with Uganda. I want us to have
Lake Edward.
Lake Edward, good.
Lake Chog.
Lake Choga, not Chog, Lake Choga.
And Lake Albert.
And Lake Albert. So for you in Uganda, you only think of Albert, Choga, and Edward. Thank you. Shivan, which other lakes do we have in Uganda? Where fishing is probably taking place.
Lake George.
Lake George, okay. Thank you, Shivan. Moronji, which other lake? Meanwhile, we are still in Uganda. We still have to analyze lakes in Tanzania. Victor, I pick you, don't say anything. I am losing hope. Victor, unmute yourself. When I unmute you, you also unmute yourself. If not, you lower your hand. Other people who are coming as visitors, you know, I don't like people who come to spy in our lessons. Liam, say something. Mirembe, Moira, I can see you're in class, but quiet. Are you spies? We are looking at the different lakes and rivers and streams and ponds in East Africa where fishing takes place. Lona, I want to hear from you. Leila. Blessing. Blessing, you're always active. Today, you mean the topic is very hard? Yes, Murunji. Murunji Davis.
There's Lake Tanganyika.
There's Lake Tanganyika in Tanzania. Thank you, Blessed. After you mute your mic. Corn. Is it corn? Is it can? I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrongly. You're saying nothing. Let me mute you. I see hands up if I'm not talking. Christine, which lakes do we have, you people? You didn't start the SST. Even a P3 child knows this. Moira.
Lake Tana.
Lake Tana. Lake?
Tana.
Is Tana a lake? Tana is a river, not so. Christine, it is River Tana, not Lake Tana. Okay. River Tana in Kenya. Thank you. Rana. Rana, we have river.
Lake Turkana.
Lake Turkana, where? Rana, Lake Turkana, where?
Tanzania.
Lake Turkana is in Kenya. My goodness. Lake Turkana is in Kenya. Hey, people, look at your maps carefully. Seems you have wrong notes. Kylie.
Lake Rukwa in Tanzania.
Lake Rukwa in Tanzania. Thank you. Kylie, you're done. So we have lakes. You've not given me the biggest lake in East Africa, the one that is shared by all 3 countries. How can you talk about the lakes and you don't mention Lake Victoria? You don't mention Lake Victoria and you think you know the drainage of East Africa? The 2nd largest lake in the world. Collins, Patricia and Angel, one of you should say something. Yes, please.
Lake Victoria. Lake Baringo.
Lake Baringo. Lake Baringo where?
In Kenya.
In Kenya, beautiful. Anzoa. So we have those lakes: Victoria, Choga, Lake Wamala, Lake George in Uganda, then Baringo, Turkana, Lake Naivasha, Lake Nakuru. All those are in Kenya. Then in Tanzania,
Lake Rukwa.
Rukwa, beautiful. Tanganyika, Lake Malawi. What about the rivers? You only know River Nile. Someone mentioned River Tana.
River Rufiji.
River Rufiji in Tanzania.
Rufiji. River Pangani.
River Pangani in Tanzania. Thank you.
River Ruaha.
River Ruaha. Where?
River Malawi.
River Malawi is not there. River Ruaha is a tributary of River Rufiji. River Ruvuma. Okay.
I mean River Malagarasi.
River Malagarasi.
Tanzania.
River Ruvuma, Lake Chivu. Is Chivu in East Africa? Okay, so it seems you now know the Lake 16 and the drainage.
Rivers.
Now, which fish species do you know? Which types of fish? Let me look at Uganda in particular, where you're very familiar. Which fish types do you see on the Ugandan markets? Please be informed that Lake Victoria is it offers the most fish caught in Africa, by the way. Lake Victoria offers the main fish or the biggest number of fish in East Africa. And to be specific, Uganda offers the best, the biggest quantity of fish supplied in Africa. Then the fishing sector of Uganda is the second. It is the second foreign exchange earner. It is next to agriculture. So it employs over 1.2 million people. That is how profound this fishing activity is to the people of Uganda. So fish, we are looking at the species, the fish species. Someone is saying tilapia. What is tilapia in your mother tongue? There is mudfish, catfish. Hey, you know the types. I want them in your local languages.
Fish.
There is A. I want you to give me a fish type and this local language. Moira, which one?
Moira.
Moira. There is
Silverfish.
silverfish. What's its name locally?
Mukene.
Mukene. And I think that is the most eaten thing right now in the lockdown. Every family has. Yes, you eat very many fish, moreover, a whole one, without having to divide it into pieces. So there is mokene, silverfish. Okay. Moronji.
Madfish.
There is madfish. What's the name?
Ensonzi.
Ensonzi. Ensonzi, is it called madfish? Aren't you lying to us? Moronji, what is ensonzi in English?
They are madfish.
They are madfish. Els. They're called els. Beautiful. They're called els. Moronji, you are lying to us.
Teacher.
Yes,
Teacher, what is bagaras in Luganda? Bagaras, the type of fish caught in Lake Edward and George.
In Lake Edward and George, bagaras in Uganda. Let me find out if someone is aware. What is bagaras in Luganda? The local name. Someone aware? The local name of bagaras fish. Yes, Victor. Victor, lower your hand. You're just confusing me. Christine, you want to help?
No.
Allah?
Allah,
say something. Sorry?
I have a question.
You have a question. Surely ask.
They told us that mukene is silver spring, not silverfish. Is it true?
It is silver spring, not silverfish. Bambi, no, it is silverfish. Actually, it is called silver cyprinid. Silver cyprinid fish. Okay, I think I've answered you. We are still looking for the meaning of bagarasi fish in Luganda. I'll be letting you know, Moronji. Calvin, another type of fish. Another type of fish. What is semutundu in English? Semutundu is catfish. Liam, semutundu is catfish. Okay. We have Collins. It's not a mal, it is a male. A male is the clarias fish. It's called clarias fish. People know these names in Luganda, they don't know the English. And Sonzi, we said they're called the Els. Mokene is called. But I tried. Yes, you tried. You said emale. Emari. Good. So what is a mamba and engege in English? A mamba is langfish. Engege is the tilapia fish. So I think now we know that the species. We just didn't know the English names. So tilapia is engege. Nile perch is importer. The spad fish are the ankeji. I think we all know the ankejes. The silverfish is mokene, madfish. Madfish is what we call the els. Then the catfish was the semotondo. Then the langfish was the mamba. Let's move on. I'm glad you know these types, these species of fish. So there are different types of fish caught in the fresh water bodies. Whereas in marine fishing, where we said we get fish from oceans and seas, we have fish that have adopted to salty water conditions. These are the ones we are calling mackerels, the herrings, the tuna, the yellowfish, the sardines, among others. So when you look at those different types of fish, let's look at why do you think the fishing sector, mentioned earlier that the fishing sector in Uganda is the second largest foreign exchange earner. What factors do you think? Oh, Bagarians is Semutundu. Someone is lying. Semutundu, we said, is catfish. Morunji saying it is in Kolongo. Okay, I think we are done with the issue of fish types. I want us to analyze, after saying that the fishing sector is the second largest foreign exchange earner in Uganda, and in East Africa, it is one of the biggest employer of people because we are endowed with so many water bodies. I want us to analyze the factors that have led to the development of this fishing sector. And over time, we see this sector improving and prospering, fetching more money to the East African countries. But there must be some reasons why, instead of declining, the sector is simply flourishing. So let's look at the human factors that have favored the development, the physical factors that have led to the growth of fishing in East Africa. Okay, I'm sure we have fishmongers here, fishermen, people who are directing the fisheries departments. What are some of those factors? I want to mention a factor and you explain it for me. We are looking at the naturally occurring factors, the physical factors. Yes, Veronica. Veronica?
Presence of large fishing grounds, for example, Lake Victoria, Lake Tanganyika, where the fish is extracted.
Beautiful. Remember that. Beautiful.
Growth of the fishing.
Amazing. Remember, when you're talking about natural factors or physical factors, the keyword is presence in geography. So she has said presence of large water bodies, many water bodies like lakes, rivers, swamps, streams, ponds, where fish can be extracted. Beautiful. Claire, Daniela, say something. Another
availability of a variety of valuable fish species in the water bodies such as Nile perch, tilapia, and others, which are highly demanded.
Claire, I've just said when you're dealing with physical factor, which is the keyword we use? Presence, okay? And then you said availability, so take note of that. So you could say presence of valuable commercial fish species like tilapia, Nile perch. Now, between Nile perch and tilapia, which is the most caught in East Africa? What are these species that are most caught in East African water bodies? I think you should know that Nile perch and tilapia are the most caught species of fish, okay, in East Africa. They're the most exported and even consumed here in East Africa. So together with silver fish. So there are valuable fish species and then the large number of water bodies. Thank you so much. We move on. Another fish. So I have a sample of some of the different fish species. I have the tilapia fish, which you called the ngege. I think you've seen these sold in almost all markets. All landing sites have the ngege, okay? Victor, finally, you said something. Ngege, who has seen a market where they sell ngege? Most of these prominent fish markets sell ngege. Where? In your area, tell us the market, the fish market you have seen. In my area, there is the Molongo market in Busega here, at Busega roundabout. It's called Molongo market. Where in your area? Yes, Hosea? Do we have fish selling taking place? Hosea?
Wandegea market.
Wandegea. Wandegea. In that Wandegea market?
Yes.
Yes, so there's that not new Wandegea market. He's saying, I think every market has a section for fish. So there's one in Wandegea. Where else? Yes, Pranav?
Kawempe main market.
There is Kawempe main markets. Amazing. It has fish. Daphne. Daphne, you're wasting our time. Ezekiel, please unmute yourselves and say something. There is?
Kajansi market.
Kajansi market. So I think all main markets in Kawempe, in Ntinda, in Nakasero, in Nakawa, all main markets have a section for selling fish. How expensive is fish? Can every family in Uganda afford fish? How much is fish? Good fish. I'm not talking about this boni fish. Good fish in Uganda can cost 15,000 and above, not so? A good tilapia fish is 15,000 and above, actually 20, which most families cannot afford. That is why most of the fish is exported to other countries. That is where the challenge is. Let's look at another fish species. So that is the tilapia, which we've called the engege. Then we have, which one is this? Which one is this? Who is guessing? 20K. 2K, William. When you're eating fish of 2K, it's not fish.
Which fish is
There's no fish for 2K. I don't know which market that is. Which fish species is this? This is what we call the Nile perch, the mputa. It is different from tilapia. You can look at the size of the mouth. This one has a longer mouth. That is how different it is from the tilapia. And mputa is the most sold fish in Uganda. Mputa, the Nile perch, it fetches 34% of the sales in Uganda. So it is the most demanded fish. Okay, we'll move on to another species. This is the langfish. What is langfish in Uganda? Those who know in our local language? Okay, someone is still talking about mputa. A mamba. So that is how it looks like. It's quite scary, but that is how it looks like. What is this? This is everyone's favorite. This is our main meal for lockdown, which is silver fish. I think you've all seen these ones. All market centers have silver fish. This is how it looks like on a market day. Okay, and I think a bucket goes for like 5K, 10. It brings joy in a family. Everyone eats. You imagine eating so many fish at the same time without having to share with anyone. So mokene and Nile perch are the most demanded 4 types of fish for commercial value, by the way. Okay, let's look at another species. This is the catfish. Catfish is the one we call the semutundu. Semutundu. I think African parents like this one. Why? Is it sweet? It is slimy, it is slippery, but it is beautiful when dried. It is very tasty. It is semutundu. And I think people who are rich are the ones that eat this one because a kilogram goes for 20, 30, a kilogram of semutundu. So it is very expensive in the Ugandan markets. So that is the catfish. Another fish species. Basically, though, I brought out only the commercially demanded ones. So, but you can look at others in your free time. Let's continue with that different physical factors that favor. Physical factor, there's another one, presence of a wide continental shelf. Who is explaining this one? How is a continental shelf important? What is even a continental shelf? What is a continental shelf? I see hands lowering. Hey, you don't know what a continental shelf is? Yes, Rana. A wide continental shelf. What is it for?
A continental shelf which helps in fish breeding as well as creating a conducive site for construction of fishing pots.
Of fishing?
Pots.
Pots. So what is the use of the continental shelf? Okay, it is wide so that First of all, it is wide, and usually most of our water bodies, the shells are shallow. The shores are shallow. Why? Because for fish to breed, there must be warm temperatures. So warm temperatures cannot penetrate if the waters are really deep. So usually when the fish want to breed, they come to the shores and they breed. So the large continental shelves that are shallow provide an environment that is good for the breeding of the fish. And at the same time, it is easy to construct a place for the ship to anchor. When you're anchoring a ship, you don't park on a smooth environment like you would park a car. So for ship to anchor, the continental shelf or the shores have to be indented. They shouldn't be straight. Okay, that's another one. Good. Conducive climate. Conducive climate. Yes, Anzoa. How does conducive climate enable fishing to continue? Anzoa, unmute yourself. Conducive climate. How conducive is the climate? When I talk of climate, I'm looking at two factors, rainfall and temperature. So in relation to fishing, how? Conducive climate, Yeah, people have unmuted and not saying anything. Yes, Hosea?
So the climate favors the fish to harbor in the waters.
To harbor in the waters. And when you talk of climate, I remember I've told you we're analyzing two elements, that is temperature and rainfall. So I want you to relate either temperature or rainfall to the growing of the fish. Yes, Mariel. Thank you for trying, Hosea.
Present. Conducive climate, that presence of conducive climate that helps in the availability of plankton, which act as food for fish.
Murunji, you have washed a white cloth and then you hang it in dirty soil. You said presence of conducive climate, which helps in the availability. The way you're phrasing the point is not right. I want someone to make this point better.
Presence of conducive climate, which favors the growth of planktons, which act as food for the fish.
You're very right. So, plankton grow under which type of climate? How conducive should the climate be? That is where the question is. When you talk of conducive climate, how conducive? That is what I want to know. It is true, it is going to help the plankton, but under what weather conditions? Yes, Christine. Christine, you've given up. Shama, continue. Defend your point.
Presence of conducive climate like warm temperatures which favor the growth of plankton.
Beautiful.
Which act as food for the fish.
Food for the fish. So we have a word here we need to discuss. Plankton. What is plankton? Plankton. You're saying this is food for the fish. Is it partial? Is it rice?
Planktons grow underwater and they grow on stones, eh?
Stones, eh?
The stones which are on the water.
So these are small living organisms that are found within the water. They can be plants. If they are plants, we call them phytoplanktons. And if they are animals, small animals on which the fish feeds. The moment fish start feeding on animals, they are called zooplankton. Okay. If they are plants, they're called phytoplanktons. So for these planktons to grow, for these plants to grow, for these animals to grow, there must be warm temperatures. So In East Africa, we are lucky we have those conducive temperatures of between 18 to 25 degrees. Those are the conditions under which plankton can grow, and with the presence of plankton, then the fish can feed, and when fish feed, they can grow. Thank you very much, Shama. Let's move on. So when I was talking about a wide continental shelf, that is what I meant. The shelf is narrow, so a ship can, or a boat can come. We don't usually use ship in East Africa. We use boats and canoes. So that is how they can be able to safely anchor. They can construct ports. That is what we meant by a wide continental shelf. Let's proceed with another physical factor, the availability of plankton for the fish to feed. I'm reading through the chart. Someone is still confused on what we are discussing. Brenda, we are looking at the factors, the physical factors that have favored the growing or the growth of the fishing sector. Okay, that's where we are. And so far, we've looked at the conducive climates, availability of plankton, the water bodies. We have looked at the presence of a wide continental shelf for the anchoring of the boats. Now, another one is the presence of a large supply of plankton for the fish to feed and grow. I have discussed the plankton in details. Then unindated coastline. When the coastline is inundated, it means, who has an idea? What do we mean if we say uninundated coastline? What do we mean by uninundated coastline? What is an inundated coastline? Yes, Victor? Victor, unmute yourself and say something. What is an inundated coastline? Daphne? Daphne, you want to explain to us an inundated coastline?
No.
No? Christine? Christine, unmute and say something. Yes, Jerry.
An index line is a coastline that is having zigzag lines at the edges.
That has what?
Zigzag lines at the edges. It's divided.
It's divided. Thanks for trying. It is divided into what?
Zigzag lines.
It is divided into what?
Zigzag lines.
Zigzag. So it is not a straight line. It is ridged. It is irregular. It has no particular shape. So what is the importance of that indented coastline? It's not really a smooth something you're going to find, but it's going to be rough, irregular. What is the importance of the indented coastline?
I think it enables free movement of the fish in the water.
Free movement of the fish? Oh God, no, you're lying, Christine. Yes, Alvin.
I think it was the breeding of fish.
Alvin? Alvin, I can't hear you. What is the use of the indented coastline? Moira?
It's where fish hide and like
beautiful. Yes, even fish, just like you human beings, when you're doing bad manners, you need privacy. Even when fish are breeding, they also need privacy. So that can only be offered by the irregular coastline, okay? For the fish to go and lay their eggs. Beautiful. Thank you so much. We proceed. We proceed. Since we still have time with us, time is still on our side. Can you quickly go through the physical factors? So those have been the human factors, the physical factors. So I want us to look at the physical, the human factors favoring fishing. Let's discuss. I thought that would be enough for today's lesson. Let's continue. Okay, I see people's hands up. Let's discuss the physical factors. Yes, Priska, rather the human. What are the governments doing to favor?
Availability of capital.
Of adequate capital supplied by the government and the foreign investors. And what is the use of the capital in this case?
It enables people to buy the fishing tool.
Equipment. Beautiful. So thank you, Priska. One is capital, another one. Liam says something. We're looking at the human factors that favor fishing. So that next time we start on a new something.
Yes, presence of supportive government policy.
Sorry?
Presence of supportive government policy.
A supportive government policy. How does the government of Uganda support the fishing sector? Let me look at now Uganda in particular. What things do you think the government has done to support this sector?
Yes, I think they have put up laws. Yes,
they have put up laws. Do you have a fishing organization here in Uganda? In an organization in terms of fisheries?
No, but it falls under a ministry.
Yes, we have the ministry. And under what ministry do you find fishing? Liam, under what ministry does the fishing sector lie?
I don't know.
You don't know. Who knows? Under what ministry do we find the fishing sector? Your hand should be up if you're giving me that answer. Yes, Jerry?
I think Ministry of Finance and Development.
Ministry of Finance and Development for fishing. Jerry, are you in Uganda? Yes. Faith, under what ministry do we find? Not quite, Jerry, you're lying. Finance and fishing, are they connected even?
I think Ministry of Fishing or the Fisheries.
Ministry of Fisheries. So the fishing industry is under the Ministry of Fisheries. It is lacking something. Shivan, I want the final answer.
Teacher, the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal and Fisheries.
Beautiful.
And Fishing Industry.
Amazing. It is the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. And who is the minister? Who is heading that department? Who is the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries? Hey, do you see how you don't know things about your country, but you know the latest Beyonce boat? She said something. Who is the minister in charge of agriculture, animal industry and fisheries? Davis, I see the hand up. Who is the current minister for animal, agriculture and fisheries? Promise. Who? Hey, you people, but you know the latest playing European team. Can you imagine? Yes, please.
I think it's Honorable Frank Tumwebaze.
Yes, you're thinking right. It's Honorable Frank Tumwebaze. And the State Minister for Fisheries? State Minister for... So, Honorable Frank Tumwebaze takes over the entire ministry. Agriculture, animal and fish. Now, for fisheries in specific, who is in charge? Who is the minister in charge? Fisheries. Yes, Faith.
Teacher, I don't know.
You don't know. It is Honorable Helen Adoa. You need to have this information. That makes you a faithful citizen. So we move on. So the government is supporting the fishermen, one, by financing the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. It offers funds, it offers loans to the fishermen, it offers research services. Are we together? We move on. We move on. Ministry of Tourism, you're wrong. Availability of skilled labor. This is Dan, Claire, Daniel, and I think Patricia. Yes, availability of skilled labor offered by the local population. I said it employs about 1.2 million people. All these people in form of fishmongers, people who build the boats, people who provide the nets, people who extract the fish, the fishermen, the fishermen. So the presence of constant supply of skilled and semi-skilled labor. Jerry is saying a ready market. So the point would be availability of a ready market. When I talk of ready market, but you remember you said most families in Uganda can't afford fish, apart from silver fish. So how ready is the market? Jerry, I want you to unmute and tell us when you talk of ready market, what are you talking about? How ready is the market? Yet our population cannot afford fish. So
Ready market
Jerry,
abroad.
Abroad, Ugandans
Yeah.
gave up on the fish.
Not like when they export.
Okay, so most of the fish that is produced in Uganda by the good quality fish goes to China, goes to those European countries, Canada, US, Netherlands, and the Middle East countries. The little poor quality that we remain with is the one that we look at as our fish. That fish you look at 20,000, it's not the best quality. Meanwhile, the biggest good quality goes to other countries. That is where the problem is. And now with the lockdown, I don't know, that is why maybe the prices are getting low because the fish is now a lot, but the variations keep coming in. Okay, Anna, hand is up. We're looking at the factors that favor fishing.
Availability of raw materials for building fishing.
Availability of raw materials like what?
Availability of raw materials like timber for building fishing boats.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I cannot add anything to your point. Yes, Moronji.
Presence of developed transport such as loads to transport fish from
the water. Okay, I want you to give me a road name. Let me give you I want examples of which roads connect to the water bodies to the different market centers. Any idea those roads that Faith, are you giving me a road? Roads that connect from the water bodies to the different market centers. The hands are many. You can chat, write in the chat as someone thinks of answering. Yes, Anzoya?
Teacher, teacher, would you mind pardoning the question?
I'm asking, someone has mentioned availability of ready transport in terms of roads, and I'm asking which roads do we know connect from water bodies to the market centers? Because these roads are used to transport the fish from the water bodies or from the landing site to the different market centers. And I want a road that, you know, these roads, you people are already in the business, I know. Yes, Bena Akelo. Yes. Akelo, Anzoya, you had something to say?
There's a use of modern method of preserving.
Anzoya, we are still looking at the road transport system. Bena, your hand is up.
No, me, I'm talking about the
something different.
technology.
I want us to exhaust that point, then we can move on.
Okay.
Anyone with an answer? The chat room is empty. Victor, you seem to know this sector more than others. So that is something you're going to ponder about. Yes, Annette. Annette, your hand is up. So when you're going to those market centers to buy the fish, do you just jump or you dive into the market? Which roads do you use?
Entebbe Road.
Entebbe Road. To where?
To Chitebi Market.
To Chitebi Market. Okay. Thank you. So someone does not dive in the market. She uses Entebbe Road to Chitebi. So you'd call it Entebbe Chitebi Road to Chitebi Market. Thank you. Meryl Mulunji. Moronji. There is the Nabagerka Road to Kasenyi. Okay. There is the Kampala Mityana Road. We have the Jinja Kampala Road as you're coming to Kampala. All the fish that is coming from Masese, from Chiyindi. They use that Jinja Road, Kampala Jinja Road to come to Kampala to deliver to Nakasero, Nakawa markets. That is what I was asking about. It was not astronomy or what. Let's move on. Other factors. Rana, you had something to say. Other physical factors, other human factors. So we looked at the government policy, road transport network, skilled labor, capital. What else? Rachel? 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 Please, if your hand is up, say something. Otherwise, I'm going to lower it. Peter, yes, my dear.
Availability of intensive research.
Intensive research. Where do we see research being done? And what are they researching on? When you talk of research, what are they researching on? They're researching on the
New methods of fishing.
New methods of fishing, new fish species, the hatchery procedures. How do we increase on the population of fish? All that needs research, okay? And that is done by the Fisheries Research Institute here in Uganda. I think in Makerere we have a course on fisheries. There's a Bachelor of Fisheries at Makerere University. All the students do research on the fishing sector. So that helps it to develop. They can know the different hatchery methods. They can know how to increase the population. They can know how best to nurture the fish into growing. They know how best to feed the fish. Thank you. Davis, say something.
Relative political stability, especially
along the different fishing water bodies. Political, if you have people fighting on the islands, I think people would really quit the fishing sector. But the political stability is the one that attracts more people to participate in the fishing sector. Want to wrap up? Moronji, you still have something to say?
Improved storage facilities and processing plants.
Improved storage facilities, like what? You know, fish is highly perishable. So how improved are the storage facilities? How improved are the storage facilities?
Like the use of fridges for
the use of refrigerated trucks. I think you can see those cars that are transporting fish. In there, there is ice, and that's what keeps the fish going for long hours. So we have refrigerated tanks, even other methods of preserving the fish, okay, like sun drying. We have those processing plants. We have had processing plants in Uganda. For example, we have one in Bara, that is the Chitunga fish farm or fish plant. Those ones provide the ice that is needed to transport these. The fish, by the plural of fish is fish. So there is no these fish. There is no fishes. Jerry, finally. Jerry?
Yes, please.
Yes, you have something to say?
No.
No? Okay, thank you so much for your participation. I think that brings us to the end of our lesson. A supportive
Teacher, I
government.
have something to
You have
say.
something, surely say it.
Teacher, I was also going to say that supportive government policies.
You're also going to the supportive government policies. And I think we mentioned those policies offering the incentives, giving the loans and subsidies, okay, through the cooperatives, encouraging people to carry out private fish farms. I think we have quite a number of fish farms. Peter is saying the neutrality of East Africa. Peter, I've not understood this point. How neutral is it? Peter, unmute yourself and tell us the neutrality of East Africa. How does that?
Like, it has very many like friends, like relationships in whatever in
Yeah.
other countries.
Peter, the way you've explained, no. But Peter, rename yourself. You're a lady and you're subscribing as Peter. So I don't know who I'm talking to. No wonder you're talking about relationships. You what? Claire, you're dying of laughter. I can see. How is the neutrality of East Africa favoring the growth of this fishing industry? You have a good point, by the way. It's not like it is wrong. I want you to defend it. Daphne, you want to help? Claire, as you're laughing, I want you to defend this child. And please rename yourself well.
I just have a question.
You have a question, okay?
Why haven't you talked about the fish farming?
Where are they?
Why haven't you talked about the fish farming as a type of fishing?
As a type of fishing. It isn't, because commercially, it is not as commercially done. It is usually done. People do it for commercial purposes, but on a small scale, not on a large scale. Though it is growing, it is a very good, we are calling it aquaculture actually, where we have so many private farms. People have really embarked on this and they are hatching and doing a lot of research on that in the fish ponds. It is okay, you can talk about it. Thank you for that concern. Should we conclude? I think we should. Any more questions? Collins,
yes,
thank you. Yes, please.
Teacher, how can I connect to this class's Google Classroom?
How can you connect to this class's Google Classroom? Do you have the Google Classroom app on your phone?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. So when you log in, Mr. Steve, this is when I needed you. Let me get you someone to help you and you do that. Thank you so much. I want us to sort the problem today. Please don't forget about the General Assembly. Thank you Claire, for the reminder.
Yes, hello class.
Hello,
class.
Hello.
Yes, please. Is there anyone with a phone? Anyone with a phone whom I can help, who will help us go through the process of joining Google Classroom?
Yes.
Okay. So who? Raise up your hand. Raise up your hand. Jerry Eladu. Okay, Jerry Eladu.
Yes.
On your phone. You have the phone with you?
Yes.
Yes. Do you see the share button on your Zoom?
Yes.
Yes. You tap share. And then you share the screen. You're going to share with us.
Okay.
We are waiting for you, Jerry. Good. Now, Jerry, I want you to, you see the classroom app? Do you see the classroom app? It has a green color in the middle, a yellow border, and white, yes. Put your pattern. Tap. So now, if you want to join the class, it's like Jerry has already joined this class, isn't it? Now, for those who don't know, when you are in the classroom app, there is a plus at the bottom right. So you click on that plus. Just help them, Jerry. Click on that plus. Tap on that plus. Did you tap plus, the plus sign?
Yes.
There are two options. There is, what options do you see, Jerry? Jerry, read
Create
for us
class
those options.
and join class.
Yes, there is create class and join
Create
class.
class and
As a learner, you are going to tap join class. So when you join class, it will bring for you that space where you enter the code. So the classroom code for S3 is ZQN. ZQN. Could you please type?
ZQN.
ZZ.
ZZ.
D6.
D6.
And then you tap join at the top right. There is a blue button, join. Now, so that allows you to enter the S3 e-class. Are we there? I hope those who had trouble entering the class are now sorted. Who asked this question?
I did.
Are you now settled?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Do you have the classroom app on your phone?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then. Thank you. So, Jerry, thank you so much for your cooperation. Our lesson is ending now. We have an assembly later in the afternoon. And allow us to stop here till we meet again in the physics lesson tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Teacher.
Yes, please.
The assembly is at what time?
What is the assembly? The assembly is at 3:30.
Okay.
Okay, please. The closing prayer. Who's saying the closing prayer? Akelo.
Yes.
Are you saying the closing prayer for us?
Yes.
Okay, just a moment. I'm going to ask you to say the opening prayer just in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, continue.
Okay, let's humble ourselves and we pray. Great and loving Father, King of universe, we worship you, praise your name, O Lord. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the gift of protection that you've granted us. Most people have not reached this time, but because of your grace, because of your mercy, you've made us reach this time, O God. Thank you for the gift of teachers that you've given us, O Lord. May you guide them, give them the abundant knowledge and understanding. May you provide us, the learners, with enough knowledge and understanding so that we may get the teachers who are teaching us very well. We pray all this through Christ our Lord.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Welcome.